dear students of Standard 12, we shall now discuss some examples and exercises regarding the degrees of comparison, transformation. Already we've seen the different types of sentences under the transformation section, and today we shall continue with your textual exercises. Now this comes under your 2-mark section, so be very careful, understand the sentence, understand the context and carry out the transformation so that you can score full marks and your language will also improve a lot. Now let us proceed with the sentences, textual exercises. Task 1. Transform each of the following sentences using the comparative degree without changing the meaning. So in the comparative degree, the essential word is than, and one more feature, any other. So depending upon the type, we shall just carry out the transformation. Look at the first sentence. Very few Indian languages are as ancient as Tamil. Now you got very few in the positive degree, as ancient as. That tells you that the sentence is of the positive degree. The adjective is of the positive degree. Now you have to transform it into the comparative form. So you start with Tamil. Tamil is more ancient than most other Indian languages or many other Indian languages. Because you got very few in the positive, you will get one of the in the superlative. So in the comparative, that is what our question requires, changing it into the comparative form. So more ancient, adjective, before the adjective you got more ancient than most other or many other Indian languages. Sentence 2. Hurricanes are as dangerous as tornadoes. Now hurricanes, tornadoes, only two things are compared. So you got the positive and the comparative form. The given question is of the positive. So we are going to change it into the comparative form. Tornadoes are not more dangerous than hurricanes. Tornadoes are not more dangerous than hurricanes. So you got the negative word there. Hurricanes and tornadoes, they are equally dangerous. Hurricanes are as dangerous as tornadoes. So both are of the equal range. So tornadoes are not more dangerous than hurricanes. So the same meaning is expressed in the comparative form. Third sentence. This is the most challenging task I have ever undertaken. As you can see, most dangerous. So this is of the superlative form. So your answer with the comparative form of the adjective. This task is more challenging than any other task I have ever undertaken. This is of the basic form, type 1. So more challenging than any other. The words any other are very essential here. Question 4. Email is the fastest means of communication. So one mode of communication compared with all the others. So email is faster than any other means of communication. So here again than and any other. Fast, faster, fastest. So in the comparative form you got faster. So sentence number 1 and sentence number 4, just compare those. In sentence 1 you had very few and therefore you used most other or many other, than most other, than many other in the comparative form. Sentence 4, question 4, the fastest means of communication. So in the comparative you got faster than any other means of communication. So remember all these structures and answer well. Now we move on to sentence 5. Compulsive gambling is the worst habit a man can develop. So this is the worst habit. So for all the habits, this is the worst. So bad, worse, worst. Given sentences of the superlative form. So in your answer in the comparative form, compulsive gambling is worse than any other habit a man can develop. Than any other. So worse than any other habit a man can develop. So this is how you transform these sentences. We move on to task 2. Rewrite each of the following sentences using the superlative degree retaining the meaning. So remember the meaning should not change, but only the degrees you use can be altered depending upon the question or according to the instructions. 1. Shakespeare is greater than many other dramatists of the world. Greater than many other dramatists. So in your superlative you will get the words one of the. So it doesn't say Shakespeare is greater than any other. Here it says Shakespeare is greater than many other or most other dramatists of the world. So in the superlative, the answer is Shakespeare is one of the greatest dramatists of the world. So he is one among the other famous dramatists. He is one of the greatest dramatists of the world. Second one, some people think that nothing is as important as money in life. So to them money only matters. Nothing is as important as money. Positive degree. You are changing it into the superlative form. So this is the most important aspect. So some people think that money is the most important thing in life. So no other thing is as important as money. That is, in other words, nothing is as important as money. So this is how you change it. Question 3. The peacock is more colorful than any other bird found in India. So here you got more plus adjective, colorful than any other. So basic type 1. The peacock is the most colorful bird found in India. So that is the superlative form. The peacock is the most colorful bird found in India. Fourth one, very few people in this town are as generous as Mr. Mohan. So again you got very few. So be very careful. When you get very few in the positive, you will get one of the in the superlative. So Mr. Mohan is one of the most generous people in this town. Generous, more generous, most generous. We are going to transform it into the superlative form. So the answer is the most generous. So Mr. Mohan is, because of very few, I have chosen one of the. So again the answer, Mr. Mohan is one of the most generous people in this town. Number 5, no other planet in our solar system is as cold as Neptune. So no other, basic type 1, no other planet. So Neptune is the coldest planet in our solar system. Cold, colder, coldest. Superlative form, coldest. Before the superlative form, you have the. So the coldest. What is it? A planet. The coldest planet. So Neptune is the coldest planet in our solar system. Question 6. I cannot do anything better for you than this. So remember, good, better, best, the irregular forms of adjectives. So I am going to transform it into the superlative. Therefore, I should choose best. Before best, I would have the article the. So I cannot do anything better for you than this. This is the best thing I can do for you. So if you understand the meaning, rendering it into the other forms of degrees of comparison becomes very easy. Now task 3, replace the comparative adjectives in the following sentences with their positive forms. So now we are going to convert the adjective, rewrite it in the positive form without altering the meaning of the sentence. Rural life is certainly more peaceful than urban life. How many things are compared here? Only 2, rural and urban. So you got positive and comparative degrees. Rural life is certainly more peaceful than. So more plus adjective plus than. Therefore this is of the comparative form. We are going to render it into the positive form. So the answer is urban life is certainly not so peaceful as rural life. So when you live in a village, it is very peaceful and calm. But when you live in a busy city, crowded city, it is not so peaceful as rural life. The answer is urban life is certainly not so peaceful as rural life. Number 2, the pen is mightier than the sword. So this is a proverb we often hear. So how do you rephrase it? Using the positive form of the adjective. The sword is not so mighty as the pen. So whenever you get the negative word not, you use so. If it is of the same quality, you use as. So the sword is not so mighty as the pen. Train journey is more comfortable than bus journey. So here again 2 things, train journey, bus journey. So the answer is bus journey is not so comfortable as train journey. So if you travel by bus, it is not so comfortable as your travel by train. My mother can speak more sweetly than anyone else. So here mother is compared with all the other people. So one is compared with many. Now remember, we are changing it into the positive form. So you should have no one else. If it is a lifeless thing, you will have no other thing, no other object and so on. Here it is a living human being. No one else can speak so sweetly as my mother. Gold is not more useful than iron. So what does it mean? Gold, iron. Gold is not more useful than iron. So they are equally useful. Their qualities are equal. Gold is not more useful than iron. So iron is as useful as gold. So the level is the same. The uses of gold, they are the same as those of iron. So iron is as useful as gold. So these are some examples of degrees of comparison. Towards the end of the session, we shall discuss more sentences. We shall give you sentences with errors and we shall together get rid of the errors and rewrite the sentences. Now we move on to the next aspect, slogan writing. Now this is for 3 marks. 3-mark question. Slogan writing is for 3 marks. Maybe you will be given 3 products and asked to coin slogans for promoting the products. Not only products, it could be for any other purpose. It could be for social cause. It could be for promoting sales. It could be for advertising something. It could be for creating an awareness of something. So what is slogan? So let us see what a slogan is and how we can coin slogans. Now generally, slogans are written for the purpose of advertising a product or to create an awareness among the public for a social cause. Suppose we talk about global warming and all, you have so many slogans: preservation of the environment, then planting more trees, then preventing deforestation, encouraging afforestation. So all these things, anything, getting rid of bad habits like smoking, drug abuse, tobacco, smoking is injurious to health. You got so many sayings, captions and slogans. Now we shall focus on slogans, the special features of slogans. How to write slogans, how to make them impressive, how to create an impact with slogans, how to make them very attractive. Simple and catchy phrases. So that is the most essential quality of a slogan. It should be very simple and it should contain catchy phrases. So when we hear the slogan, it should be pleasing to hear, pleasing to the ear, and at the same time, it should be very easy to recall and remember. So simple and catchy phrases are an important component of the identification or image. So these are also called catch lines, strap lines or tag lines. For example, your Onida TV, it's a very popular saying there, popular slogan there. Neighbors envy, owners pride. So you understand the meaning on reading these words. So very clearly the impact is felt on you. You can experience it. Neighbors envy, owners pride. You're proud of owning the TV and all the others are envious of you. Now awareness slogans are written to create awareness among the general public. It is done for a social cause. For example, no holiday for safety. So you can never relax when safety measures or wherever safety measures are concerned. Always you'll have to wear a mask, you'll have to wash your hands, scrub your hands, frequently sanitize your hands, and then be very clean. Whenever you go out, you just be very careful in protecting yourself, and then always cover your mouth while coughing, cover your nose while sneezing. When you get back home, have a clean hot water bath to get rid of all the germs and diseases. So there's no holiday at all for such a routine. You should always be very clean and maintain personal hygiene. So all these points are emphasized by that single section, no holiday for safety. Everything is very clear and evident. Now, how do we write effective slogans? Here are some tips for you. Explain the company's commitment. So, the product, suppose the company sells some product, we explain what the motto of the company is. Its commitment, its loyalty to the customers, that could be explained. Be consistent. So always be consistent. Be a bit brief. So don't give lengthy sentences. Be very brief and consistent. Keep it short and simple. So as I told you, it should be catchy, it should be easy to remember, and you should derive pleasure on hearing it again and again. Give them a rhythm. So rhyme and rhythm matter a lot. The words should be rhyming. It's like hearing a jingle. So the words should be rhyming and they should be very pleasant to the ears. Rhyme and ring. Stay honest. So be very straightforward in your sayings. Be truthful to whatever you promote. Make it timeless. Timeless, it withstands the test of time. We'll keep on remembering it even after many years. be unique and different. So here comes your creativity. So you should be very, very unique and you should be very different. So your slogan should have that individuality. Now let us proceed further with the steps involved in writing slogans and the measures that we have to take to coin effective slogans. While writing slogans to create awareness among the public, what should you do? Explain the need for the change. So why do you suggest something? What is the need for you to adopt this principle? Make it sensible and easy to understand. Again, as I told you, the clarity, the motto, the aim should be very clear. People should easily understand it and it should make sense. Don't give frightening words or nonsensical words just to create an impact. So that will be lost in course of time. It should sink in the mind of the people. So people should be able to remember it and deliver it with happiness or with a clear understanding of your intention. Keep in mind the target audience. So you should know to whom it is directed. So whether it's for youngsters, whether it's for adults, whether it's for little kids, whether it's for the general public, whether it's for school children. So depending upon it, you can coin your slogans and use catchy phrases to suit the audience. So as I said repeatedly, the phrases should be very catchy and very attractive. I'll give you some more examples of this. Now here are some slogans. These are very popular ones and these have been tested by time. For example, Citibank, you heard of that famous bank, Citibank. So what do? This is their slogan. The city never sleeps. It means that the bank is working all time. It's working throughout. So city, look at the spelling here, Citibank, so C-I-T-I, the name of the bank. The city never sleeps. So they are very hardworking people. And here, the city in which you live, it never sleeps, it's always active, it's filled with activity. So it's a very, very catchy and a very impressive and attractive slogan. Next one, no appointment necessary, we hear you coming. Where do you hear this from? A mechanic shop. So how do they portray their job there? You make noise, your machine is under repair. So the noise is unbearable. So you need not advertise your presence at all. We can make out that you are heading towards us because there's something wrong with the mechanism. Then Apple, think different. So it's a very, very, very effective slogan. Think different. Always your thoughts, your ideas should be different. Be very creative. That's why I said it should be very unique. So think different. Next one, tastes so good. Cats asked for it by name. Meow mix. So obviously it is cat food. So what happens here? The taste is very good and the cats keep asking for it by meowing. The sound made by the cats, mew. So mewing, so it is meow mix. Live in your world, play in ours, PlayStation. So as a human being you exist on earth, in the world. But when you play, you enter our world. You come to our world. You can play in our world. So that is for a PlayStation. Let your fingers do the walking, yellow pages, because you're going to turn the page and find out the phone number of which particular agency you wish to contact. So your fingers will keep traveling through the pages. They'll keep browsing, exploring and picking out the correct address. So fingers are walking here. It's a very good imagination. So this is how you should actually coin slogans. They should be unique. They should be impressive, they should be catchy, they should be very, very attractive. So remember all these and wish you all the best children. Coin good slogans. Remember this is a 3-mark question. So 3 slogans you will have to write on different products or on different ideas. Now we move on to the next section which is paragraph writing. So paragraph writing, you convey your ideas effectively in the form of a paragraph. So how do you do it? Here are some tips for you. First, know what a paragraph is and then the procedure to write an effective paragraph. There should be a central topic around which the other sentences are organized in a coherent manner. What does this mean? There should be a main idea, okay? And all the other sentences should be linked to this idea. So, on the whole, the paragraph should have a continuous flow. The idea should be clearly explained in the paragraph. And the flow should be very smooth in a coherent manner. The link should be very obvious. There should be a continuity among the various ideas woven together in the paragraph. So remember all these children and make your paragraph a very pleasant, clear and enjoyable one. Now I shall give you a sample. There is a question in your text which has a very queer, strange picture. Describing a picture, you're going to describe it in a paragraph. Remember, this question carries 5 marks. It could either be describing a picture or simply explaining a concept, a proverb, or a caption or an idea. Now look at this question. Observe the following picture and write a paragraph in about 150 words describing the picture. Now take a minute to observe the picture and quickly organize your ideas. Look at it, there's a parrot somewhere on top of the cage. There's a cat imprisoned in the cage. Look at the emotion that the cat displays on its face. Look at the attitude of the parrot. So you will feel the contrast between these two creatures. And there is a striking irony here. How to start writing a paragraph on this. Now I would choose this caption, tables turned. What is tables turned? Just the opposite of something happens. Normally the cat runs after the parrot and eats it, devours it. Now here the parrot is on the top of the cage. It holds a superior position. It is of much power. Its power is greater than that of the cat because the cat is helpless, imprisoned within the cage. So what could be the attitude of the parrot and what could be the mood of the cat? So the cat is desperate, whereas the parrot is victorious. So let us see how to coin a few sentences explaining this. It is of great surprise to see a cat in a cage, probably meant for the parrot, and the parrot seated on top as if laughing at the turn of destiny. So normally the parrot is being eaten by the cat, but here the parrot holds much authority and power, so it is on top of the cage while the cat is enclosed or imprisoned within the cage. So maybe the parrot is chuckling and laughing to itself at this ironical twist in its life. So fate has played a major role here. It has made the conqueror the victim or the prisoner, and the victim becomes the conqueror, the victorious. The hunter becomes the hunted. So the cat, which is the hunter, has become hunted now. It is helpless and remains feeble inside a cage. The cat seems annoyed and has a stern yet grumpy look, unpleasant frown on its face. It just doesn't know what to do. It keeps glaring angrily, while the parrot seems innocent, not at all carried away by its abnormal and unexpected elevation, literally and figuratively. It's in an elevated status. It's on top of the cage. So literally it's elevated and figuratively it holds power and authority now. But it doesn't mind it at all. It doesn't bother about it. It doesn't show off. It is not very proud. It is not very arrogant. It is very meek and very simple. It just keeps examining the surroundings, maybe picking at the clamp there, at the ring that holds the clamp. So it is seemingly innocent. That is how it strikes me. It is seen examining the ring which would help in suspending the cage from a clamp. So maybe you will hold the ring and attach it to a hook and the cage will be suspended. So what is the parrot doing? It's observing the ring. The cat is upset and angry at the irony and is helpless caught in the cage. So the cat doesn't know the mode of exit. It doesn't know how to escape. So it is imprisoned there. It has lost its freedom. So it is upset, it is angry, it's desperate, it doesn't know what to do. So helplessly it keeps staring and glaring. Just it keeps looking all around and doesn't know what to do. Maybe cursing itself, maybe cursing its fate. This reminds us of the strange twist of destiny in one's life. Anything could happen to anyone, anytime. So now at this moment we shall be safe. But the very next moment we shall face some calamity or unexpected danger. No one knows what will happen to us the next moment, the next day, the next month, the next year. That is the unpredictability or uncertainty of future. No one knows what will happen to us within a span of 2 months or 2 years or 5 months or 5 years. So even the very next second we do not know what is going to happen to us. So let us all remember this philosophy that nothing can be expected in life. Nothing is permanent in life. Happiness doesn't remain the same, neither does sorrow. So let us not be arrogant or greedy. So make use of the opportunity you've got. Don't exhibit your arrogance or Don't keep vying for other chances, the future that others have. Don't try to grab it. Don't try to encroach into the well-being of others and usurp their opportunities. Don't try to take them away by force. Unduly hurting others. So don't unduly seize others' opportunity, or don't hurt others by virtue of our superior position in life. We should not hurt anyone. We should not sneer at anyone. We should not degrade anyone. We should not keep tormenting anyone just because of our superior position in life. At the same time, we should not vie for things that are not meant for us. We should not try to seize the opportunity or the chance or the good life someone else enjoys. So on looking at this picture, you can develop many more ideas. You can describe many things, and that is how you will voice your ideas in the form of a coherent paragraph. Pour in all your ideas, but let them be connected to the main sentence. So here the main idea is the change, the irony of the situation, the change in the role of the parrot and the cat. So develop these and bring in all the ideas that are related to this. Okay? And finally, in conclusion, give how it reminds you of good character and conduct in life. Give that idea. Give the lesson you learn from this incident in life. Now before we conclude, I'll just show you an example of a slogan. Here the company is M&M. Now look at the advertisement. It says, melts in your mouth, not in your hand. So when you have a chocolate or when you have ice cream, what happens? It should melt only in your mouth. It should not keep flowing all over your hand and dirtying your palms. So that is how they've coined this slogan, and this is meant for entertainment, giving the good quality of the chocolate. So how firm it is, how it doesn't melt into a liquid, and how it doesn't dirty your surroundings. So wish you all the best, children. So do well, and I hope all of you will score excellently in your English examination. And not only that, you should all develop very good speaking, writing skills and excel in the use of the language. Thank you.